Hey Ivan, just going to take you through that export process now. I have a project open here that I'm working on at the moment. It's just a mask for some guys, but you can see the layout here. I've got my timeline, I've got my program monitor up here which shows what you're editing. So when I scroll through here, you got your project up there. So firstly, when you're ready to export, you want your timeline selected, which is this guy here. See this yellow line all the way around it? That means you've got it highlighted. And next what you want to do is highlight each track that you've got video on, and you can see here I've got 6 lines of video that I am using. So I want to, on the left here, is just click on video 6, video 5, video 4 and so on, all the ones you're using. And then the same on the bottom here, you've got your audio tracks. I've got 2 used, 3, sorry. So that's all those highlighted. Now next, up top here, you can see the little hand appearing. I've got this bar up here which I can shorten and lengthen and shorten from either end. What you want to do is, this will designate what you're exporting. So you want to drag the end to the end of your video. So you want to zoom in, bring that to the end there, and zooming out up to the start of the film. And you just want to make sure that your thing is at the start of the video here, and sometimes leave a little gap, just like half a second or whatever before your video starts. So you've got that selected and all your video and audio tracks selected. What you want to do next is go to File and down to Export and Export Media. So you click that and this window appears, and you can see, first of all, let me take you through what's on the left here. Up top you have source and output. Now your source is your timeline where you've been editing, and on the bottom here you got this yellow bar that shows what you've selected to export. So you can drag that along and it takes you through every part of your video. And then when you go back up and you click output, this selects what your video, your exported video, is going to look like. So you can see it's set now, so they're both going to be the same aspect ratio. So you can see that there. Now on your right here you've got all your formatting options, file type, screen size, aspect ratio, etc. You can click here on format. I've got selected a H.264, which is an internet friendly format, file format. So I would recommend using that. You got your quick times and your, so you can see that changes the pixel aspect ratio, but I would recommend going to H.264, and you can see that your source and your output are the same aspect ratio. Very important. Now under your format here you've got a bunch of settings, and they each give you different options, but really this is a great one here on Premiere. It's Vimeo HD, which gives you a decent resolution, it keeps your aspect ratio the same, and it's good for internet upload. So then next we have your output name. This is what you want to call your movie. This is ILFA, this is the Irish Lung Fibrosis Association. So I'm just going to call this ILFA, and you select where you want to save it. I'm going to save it on my desktop. I think it's the quickest way. So then click Save, and you want to make sure here that you've got your video selected and your audio selected. And then come down again, you can see this bunch of options here: filters, multiplexer, video, audio, FTP. Stick with video, you don't need to know the rest. What you're looking out for here is your frame rate. You want to make sure that's at 25. Most of the videos you have will be shot at 25 frames a second. You want to keep that consistent on your export, so make sure that's at 25. The rest should be fine, you can ignore that, and just scroll down, everything's okay there. So you're pretty much ready to export now. You've got just double check your source footage, what it looks like against what it's going to look like in your output. And you can see here I've got them set so that it will look the same. And then just double check everything, 25 frames per second, and that's all good. And on here at the bottom, this setting gives me an estimated file size, so you can see it's going to be just over a gig. It's 1150 megabytes, which is a decent size. I mean, it's a 40-minute video, so, and it's for internet upload. You want it as small as possible, without being too small that you lose your resolution. So that's a decent one for this purpose anyway. If you want to increase that and get better resolution, you've got something here called bitrate. Now, I don't recommend going messing with this yet, but if I move this cursor along, you can see I'm down to 447 megabytes, so that's a lower resolution file. And if I increase that, I can go up to like 3, that's a 3 gig file, 3.25, and this allows me to give me a 3.75 gigabyte file, which is plenty for 40 minutes. But I'm going to leave it down around the gig mark. I think everything over a gig is pretty safe, but I mean, if you can, I'd recommend bringing it to about 3 if you're going to do a video that's going up online. But then again, it depends where you're bringing it, to Vimeo professional account or Vimeo amateur account. But anyway, this is pretty much good to export, so you just click export and you see this window appears up, and this is basically your it gives you a time frame and a percentage of how much is complete, and give it a couple of minutes to settle on how long it's going to take. It's probably going to take an hour, thereabouts. And just kind of, it's recommended to leave your computer to export. Try not to open up too many programs while it's doing that. It uses up a lot of processing power, so you know, you can stick to your emails and your Skype should be fine, but try not to have too much running while you're doing this, because it'll only slow it up. That's pretty much it. You'll see a yellow bar will appear showing your progress, and your percentage will go up. And once it's done, the window will close down, and you'll be left with back on Premiere, and your file should be on your desktop or wherever you've designated to save to, and you can just click that and watch it on whatever you use to watch your videos on. If you have any problems on that end, just give me a call or email me and I'll talk you through it. Okay, I'm going to cancel this because I don't need to export this right now. So that's it. Any questions, just ask. Alright, thanks Ivan.